Hi, welcome again to the ASP.NET Core tutorial. In this video, we will learn how can we add some custom columns in the ASP.NET users table. Let's open the Visual Studio and let's open the database. Suppose in this ASP.NET users table, I want to add few more custom columns. For example, during the sign up process, I want to add first name and last name. Let's see how can we do that. Remember, we are using the identity framework in this tutorial, and in the startup class you can notice that we are using this identity user class to manage our user. Now if I want to add more columns to my users table, then I need to add few more columns to this particular table. Let's right click on this one and choose go to definition. This class is available to us as an package, so we cannot make any change in this class, but we can inherit this class to some other class and we can add the custom properties in that new class. Let's add a new class in the application. Let's open the models folder and here let's add one more class. Let's give it a name application user. Click on the add button and let's inherit this class from the identity user class. Now at this place you can add all your properties that you want to add in your ASP.NET users table. Suppose here I want to add first name, then I want to add last name, and suppose I also want to add the date of birth. The type of this date of birth is date time, and let's make it an optional. Now we have created this application user class, and now it is time to tell our application that we have modified this identity user class and now we are using this application user class. Let's copy this class name. We need to update all the places where we have used this identity user class. So first let's start from this startup class. Over here, instead of using this identity user, now I will be using this application user. Now let's update the DB context. Let's open this data folder, and in this context class, here you can notice that we are using this identity DB context. By default, if you are not passing anything in this identity DB context, then it is assuming that you are working with the identity user class. But now, since we have created a custom class for the user, so we need to tell this identity DB context that this time we are using this application user class. Let's resolve the namespace. Perfect. And remember, we have also used this identity user class during the sign up process. Let's open the repository. In the repository, let's navigate to the account repository. And over here, you can see that we are using this identity user. Instead of using this identity user, this time I will be using application user. And let's add two more properties to this sign up user model. Let's add two properties for first name and last name. Now we need to add these fields into our sign up form. Let's open the views folder. Let's open this account and signup.cshtml. Here, let's copy these two lines, paste them again over here, and let's use first name and last name. And here we can use the last name. You can apply all the validations that you want to apply on these fields. For example, you want to add the length validation, then you can perform all the validations that are available in ASP.NET Core. Now, since we have made some changes into our context class, so we need to add a new migration in this application. Let's go to the tools, choose NuGet Package Manager and click on the console. Let's add a new migration. Let's give it a name, edit application user. Click on the enter button. Here you can notice that we are getting an error message. It means we have missed some changes in some place. Let's again go to this account repository, and over here still we are using this identity user. Now we need to use this application user over here also. Let's paste this name, save the changes. Let's again try to add the migration. The migration has been added in this application. Here you can notice that we have three columns: date of birth, first name and last name. Okay, let's update the database. Click on the enter button. The database has been updated. Let's save the changes, go back to the database, and here let's refresh this database. Let's open ASP.NET Users table, expand the columns, and here you can notice that we have date of birth, first name and last name. This is how you can add n number of columns to this ASP.NET Users table. Now go back to the application and let's run this application. Let's click on this register link. Here you can notice that we have two more columns, first name and last name. We can update this text by using the display property. Suppose here I am writing fname, then lname, test1@gmail.com. Let's enter an strong password. Suppose here I am writing test@123. T is in the caps. Again the same password. Click on the create button. Let's see what we got in this user model. So here we have first name, last name, email, password and the confirm password. Without doing anything else, let's click on the continue button. Okay, so we do not have any error message. Let's go back to the database, and over here you can notice that we have two records. This is the second record that we have just created. Here is the ID, then we have the password hash, and remember we do not have the first name and last name in the table. Let's go back to the code. Again go back to the repository class. Over here you can notice that we are not assigning the first name and last name. This is the reason that these values are not stored in the database. User model dot first name. Similarly, let's assign the last name. User model dot last name. Let's go back to the account controller. Let's again run this application. Click on this register link. Let's enter some details. Suppose here I'm writing fname, lnames. Let's enter an email. Suppose here I'm writing test2@gmail.com. Let's enter a password. Click on the create button. Let's see what we got in this user model. So we have first name, last name and all other properties. Click on the continue button. Okay, we do not have any error message over here. Now let's go to the database. Let's execute this query again. And here we got a new record, this one, test2@gmail.com. And this time you can notice that we have the values in first name and last name. If you want to use the date of birth in your application, then you can use this date of birth also, and along with these columns, if you want to add few more columns to your ASP.NET Users table, then you can add all those columns in the application user class, and by adding the migration, you can update your changes in the database. That is all in this video. Make sure to hit the like button, your feedback into the comment section, share this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.